the intro table. That is stunning. And you get mohair anything, and I'm a fan. Wow. Hello and happy Friday. Okay, not happy Friday for you necessarily, but for me. We are in Farmington, Utah, which is about 20 minutes north of Salt Lake City. And just on the other side, I don't know if you can see it, over there is the Lagoon Amusement Park. Really famous here in Utah. But that's not why we're here. We are here to go to the Great Basin Fiber Arts Festival over here in this building. So let's get going to see all the gorgeous yard and all the I am so excited. I look forward to this all year long. So Great Basin Fiber Arts takes place the last Saturday of April every year here in Utah. There are a bunch of local dyers, close by dyers that show up, and just like all of the fun things that you would expect from a yarn festival. So let's go. As you can imagine, it was pretty loud inside, so we're doing a little bit of audio later. One of the first places I went to was Positively Yarny. I adore her stickers. She has the best yarn, like geeky, just fun stickers, lots of fun themes. And if you look right here, you will see my cute corgi sticker that I have several of. Next up is Snickle and Mr. B. She makes fabulous bags. They are just, she has a talent, I'm telling you. I love following her on Instagram and seeing all the creative things she comes up with. Also, side note, yes, this is on 1.5 speed. I wanted to make sure we got through all of the pretty things and you could see as much of this festival as I could show you. Next up, we have Yarn Nouveau. I've talked with her before and I kind of tease it. There is something in the water when she dyes. She uses the same dye as everybody else, but I feel like it just glows. There's just the sheen to it. There's this, and I love that most of her colorways are named after like Regency kind of things or Jane Austen. It just, I don't know, it adds to the effect of just how elegant her yarn is. Her setup this year was, I can't praise it enough. I thought it was so cute and it just gave this really fun vibe. And oh my gosh, yeah, definitely give her yarn a look because it is so unique. I had to show this colorway most ardently. So good. Next, I am so mad at myself for not spending as much time here as I should have. But this is Alexandra, the Art of Yarn. I love that they have these samples and then the yarn that you need to do them is just right there. So many pretty colorways and I just thought a lot of their colors were stunning. So much good fiber too. Oh my goodness, these were so soft. And I don't know how to spin, but as you will see, this festival is really, really tempting me to finally give in and learn. The next booth is a name you might recognize. This is Happy Creative Studios. I opened a mystery notions box from her pretty recently, and I love her stuff. So as you saw, she has a yarn on the go. You can choose your base, you can choose your strap. You can totally make it just uniquely yours. I love her notions boxes. They're all different. She says she likes to make them all unique and doesn't like to repeat. And of course, stitch markers. I have many of her stitch markers and I love all of them. This one definitely speaks to my soul. Who let me adult? I can't adult. Next is Yarnaceous Fibers. You've seen a lot from her on my channel. I can't help but buy more yarn every time I see her stuff. I just love her creativity. This, oh my gosh, this yarn was probably the softest thing I felt all day. I want a whole sweater made out of this. But Maggie from Yarnaceous is just so creative, and I love her dinosaur themes. They're so fun. Dinosaurs didn't read, and look what happened to them. Such a cute like project bag. And she also had some fibers, and then she works a lot with Pacific Knit Co. and Fangirl Fibers, and they do a lot with the doodles. So she had a lot of doodle samples, and she had the whole doodle bar, so you can, you know, select which ones you wanted and then select the colors you were interested in. Such a fun concept. I did ask if they're gonna maybe come out with a crochet version, and she, you know, nothing's off limits. She had a show colorway, and spoiler, you'll see at the very end, I definitely purchased one. And here we have Green Wood. They went on for ages and ages. There's so much good stuff here. Something that I loved about theirs was so many samples, and then right by the samples were the kits, and it had all the yarn for that, like that sample you saw. Okay, I know I just said that was the softest thing I saw at Yarnaceous, but this Indulgence yarn was a pretty close runner-up. Merino, cashmere, and silk. I am absolutely planning on getting a sweater quantity like next year, and I don't know what I'll make with it, but it absolutely needs to happen. Seriously, the amount of samples that they had was just so good. Nobody had that many samples. Here we have, I love that they call it the crochet corner. Couple of good crochet cowls and a shirt, and then diving in to all the yarn, and more samples. Their yarn is so saturated, and it's just so good. They have, it's more bright than a lot of other yarn. Oh, something else that I was very impressed with. Next to the samples, they had these little cards that told you what the pattern was and where you can find it. And yeah, the more I see the pressed flower shawl, the more I'm convinced that I need to do that. We had some really pretty sparkle skeins. Honestly, they had so many blends. Really anything you could want. They had yak, they had fluffy yarn, they had mohair, they had silk, they had just all the things. And yes, I absolutely had to go and squish all of it. How can you not? I mean, oh, and look at all this Indulgence yarn. I am indulging next year. Like, you can't stop me. I should probably plan on a sweater in the meantime. And then they had so much fiber. I love these. They had like camel silk, and they had all these different colors in these boxes. And then, oh my gosh, the fiber did not stop. There was so much. Here's cashmere and silk, and oh gall, this one really almost got me. I really do need to learn this, but I am afraid that I will become addicted and have way too much, just like I have to some people, maybe way too much yarn, but I say there's never enough yarn. We had a couple booths that had some spinning and some other fun things. And I was really impressed with this booth. They had some items used for spinning, which was great because, you know, right across from all that yarn, or all that fiber, I should say. Really cute bags, stitch markers, and bracelets, and just so much creativity. I had so much fun at this booth, talking to the owner and just learning more about her business. So much fun. There were so many like alpaca farmers, some sheep people, and I loved all of the different yarn that they brought. So I love the different colorways with the natural colors and a little bit of the dye. This one had a little bit more dyed alpaca than some of the other farmers did, but just so fun to like to feel it and just to see what there was. Also, this lady loved like pure cashmere here, and just lovely lace weight shawls. And something that I thought was really neat that they had that I did not see anywhere else, they had all of these fibers, and so you could feel what each one felt like, and then also, you know, how they held the dye. Really such a cool like aspect to have there. I had to include this one. There wasn't a lot of yarn here, but I really loved her speckle yarn, and I am always appreciative when someone has a color that goes with the speckle yarn or the, you know, variegated yarn right next to it. Sometimes I just don't want the guesswork of figuring out what goes together. All of that was just the first building. I have not even entered the second building. I haven't done any shopping yet, and it has been really hard, but building next. Our first stop is always. Hey, good, how are you? Oh, fun. First stop is always to one of my absolute favorite, if not my favorite, yarn stores, and that is Petty for Curls. They always bring yummy teas and little snacks, and this was no exception. I got my cookie, and then I headed down to Witchfire Fibers. I discovered Jess at the show 2 years ago, and she's one of my favorites. No shame. I really love her colors. I love her as a person. I think just everything about her brand and her are just great. Next is another alpaca farm. I love that they had some pottery as well, and it's so interesting to see how different each farm is and how they present their things. This definitely, you know, I take back what I said. They had a lot of dyed fleece as compared to some of the other ones, or not fleece, but yarn. This booth she's a newer dyer, and she had such a like just classy vibe, like you would expect to see it walking into a store in New York. It was so pretty. Then right next door is Candy Shop Yarns. You can immediately tell what their vibe is, right? And their theme. It's like walking into a candy shop. It's all pretty like bright colors, a lot of like fluorescence, and their setup is just always so cute. Like here are these little jars, and it's like gumball minis, and just so much fun. Here we had some more natural fibers. I had to include them because I just loved some of the things at their booth, like you not fat, you fluffy. But really great yarn, lots of fun things to touch. Here we have Lovejoy Fibers, and it's bright colors. Again, just so happy. I have a couple skeins from her, and she's just so great. I love this. I totally meant to buy this line and I forgot. I meant to contact her. Yarn more or worry less. I'm really sad I forgot to go back and buy that. She had some great sell yarn, but really her yarn is just, it's so happy. It's just bright and it's just happy. Walking into this booth is always a blast. This is your fibery godmother. Fiber for days. Again, so many blends, so many colors, just so much to look at and so much to feel. They had some great samples, and really, guys, it's getting really hard to resist learning to spin. They did have some already spun yarn, lots of pretty colors as well, but so much fiber. I just love visiting them. Now, this was a pretty unique booth. They are very natural dyeing and sustainable fibers and things like that. So you saw a lot of like recycled fibers, organic material used for dyeing, and such a different feel than some of the other booths. They have boxes that you can order that come every month and have like teas and some of their yarn, and I thought every month was just so pretty. Obviously these are examples, but such a cool thing. Now, Inner Yarn Zen, I have to give her a big shout out. She is strictly a crocheter, and so she actually dyes her yarn with crocheters in mind. A lot of yarn kind of looks better knit because it's dyed with knitters in mind. She is very good at dyeing with crocheters in mind. So the way it pulls and everything just looks really good crocheted up, and she's just a blast. Another favorite coming up here is Dragon Horde Yarn. So she has hers, her sister's, and then her mom's booth. They're all down this row. She has a lot of yarn that is based off of like fantasy. I mean, most of it's based off of fantasy, which is totally up my alley. Gorgeous colors. She's always coming up with new colorways. If you are a romantasy fan, she has so many colorways that are based off of so many of the novels that are super popular right now. And I mean, just look at this. It's just gorgeous yarn. I have several yarns from her, and continue to gather more. The next booth is Sinful Yarn, and okay, you just have to hear my genuine like reaction to this yarn.
Oh my gosh. Oh, whoa. Oh, holy crap.
Needless to say, I thought it was absolutely amazing. I love how different her style is from her sister's, and just so many beautiful colorways, and I love this lineup of booths so much. This is Yarn Cafe Creations, and I love hers as well. I've made a cowl out of some of her yarn, and her colors are just so gorgeous and really fun. All of her tags are made from coffee sleeves. So I love the attention to detail that she gives to her yarn and to her craft. So the last booth we're going to visit is Desert Panda Fiber Arts. Their yarn is colorful. It is so bright. It is, again, so happy and so different from a lot of the other yarns that you see at the show. I love finding these unique dyers. And yeah, there are quite a few that come to this event. Something that always draws me in. I have not purchased any yet, but I am always fascinated by like this yarn that is under the black light. The glow in the dark. It looks so phenomenal. I have no idea what I would do with it, but every time I have to go and look at it and just admire it. So much rainbow, so much happy. Just beautiful, beautiful colors. And of course, more fiber, because this is a fiber festival, right? And, guys, my will is breaking pretty soon. I mean, look at this one. It like almost glows at the top. So gorgeous.
And 4 hours later, 5 hours later, I'm heading out the door. A lot of damage was done. Well, okay, I say a lot, but there was a lot of goodies to be found. And as soon as I get back to the craft room, I will show you what I purchased. And I found some new, really cool yarn dyers I'm very excited about. Hello, we are back in the craft room, obviously. It's been a few days, but I wanted to share with you all of the goodies that I got at the Fiber Arts Festival. I had so much fun. I loved walking around, seeing all the new pretty yarn, all of the really cool notions and everything that was there. I had so much fun talking to new people and also talking to some of my favorite creators, some of my favorite dyers and my favorite just yarny people. It was so much fun. I am a very introverted person, and despite my mouth running away from me several times and stumbling over words, as hopefully you guys are used to by now, it was fun. And I even met, like, this was like the biggest, like, to me, actually met a subscriber who, hi, if you're watching. That was like such a big, like, whoa to me, because I know people are watching, but also to hear like people are actually watching, like, and meeting them in person is just crazy to me. Like, it's so awesome and so humbling. And yeah, it was so much fun. If you have an event close to you, definitely check it out. It is just so worth going. I know some places charge. This is a free event that they do every April here. But it's just so much fun to walk around, even if you are limited on cash. It's just, where else do you get to like touch all the good yarn and like just experience some new stuff? Okay, clearly I'm gushing and I just won't stop. So let's dive into the goodies that I purchased. So going into the festival, I usually am really good at like having some projects planned out, and then, you know, grabbing a couple like, ooh, pretties. But this time around, I was really bad at planning. So I was just going in with restraint, but also there was one project that I was specifically looking for yarn for. It is this. So I had previously made this. I would say I was over a third through, maybe not quite half through. And I'll also put a picture of the yarn I was using. I had started with this yarn. This is from Montana Crochet, and it is, she worked up a sample in this colorway and a couple others, and I really, really loved it. And I just purchased this thinking like, you know, I have a solid blue, I have a solid orange, I'm just going to use those. And the further I went along, and as I started working this in, I realized no, because the orange I had was just, it wasn't tonal, meaning it didn't have like the different shades of orange. It didn't have like movement to it. And as hard as it was, I knew I wasn't going to wear it. And so I made the difficult decision to frog it and wait for her to release the yarn she had done in her sample. Luckily, a couple months ago, she re-released the orange that she had in her project. So these two actually do go together. So this is what I mean by tonal. Like, look at the pretty oranges in there. It plays so much. I need to rewind these. So they're a little scattered, but so much better of a match than what I was using. And the only thing I was missing now is the blue. And I obviously wanted her blue most of all, but I realized it was probably going to take a long time for her to come out with it because, you know, when dyers re-release yarn, sometimes they take a space in between. I just lucked out with this. And I was like, okay, well, let's see if I can find something that will go with this project. And I did. I won out at Yarn Cafe Creations, and she had this gorgeous, like, denim blue. This one is called Royal, very fitting. And whoop, as this yarn is running away from me, but I knew that this would be a great blue for this project because it has that tonal effect to it. It's not that solid, like, just solid colors aren't boring, but in this project, it just didn't work. It wasn't going to work. So I am very excited, and I literally cannot wait to start this again. This is the Tunisian crochet project, and I love having something from every craft going. And right now, I am Tunisian crochet list, so I really want to get this going. So this is high on my project list, but I'm so excited that I could work on this. So that was a big, big win. Also, Yarnaceous Fibers, she had a colorway for the show, and it's just everything that I could dream. This was called When It Rains. A lot of her, or most of her colors are dinosaur related, which is just so much fun. And I actually did, if you want to go back, or you do remember, you saw them, I opened a advent calendar from her this last Christmas. So there is this gorgeous color. I don't have a plan for it yet. She is coming out with a hat design that was kind of previewed there, and it's gorgeous. So this might become that hat. But I loved the colors, and I couldn't resist it. This is a DK. All of these are typical bougie yarn makeup. This one's 85% merino, 15% nylon. The blue is, 85% and superwash merino and 15% nylon. The other yarn that I purchased is from Witchfire Fibers. I went to her booth and I saw this color immediately, and it happens to be a one of a kind, and so I snagged it. I swore I wasn't gonna like buy anything until I'd walked all the way around, and I broke that promise at her booth because with a one of a kind yarn, or a one of a kind colorway, you don't want to pass it up if you love it. So I grabbed this beauty with like the teals and the blues. And she's had this a while. This is one of her older sleeves. This one is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. But I just adored this. And there was a color that went with it that matched pretty well. And I was like, no, okay, I'm buying this one. And if the other one's still there when I come around again, after I like make my decisions of what I'm going after, then maybe I will, and I did. So oh, it's showing up fairly well. This is like a deep teal, and I'm a blue girl, I'm a teal girl most of all, and this just, it goes. It just goes. Does this have a intended project? Absolutely not. However, I tend to make a lot of shawls. Do I end up wearing them? Not so much, but I make a lot of them. And this would be just a beautiful, like, fade shawl. Just so, so pretty. So I love these two together. Um, so good. I just, oh. And this is also 80% merino, 20% nylon. These ones are 2-ply. But just, oh, I couldn't pass it up. And I did realize after the fact, after I got home, that I was on a very apparently blue vibe that day, which it's always kind of there, but that's all I bought was blue. And some of the other goodies that I bought happen to be Creative Studios. I opened a couple videos ago, I opened a Mystery Notions box from her that was dog themed, and please check that out. It is such a fantastic box. And I do have some similar stitch markers from her, and I just I should have paid more attention, and that's okay. This is on me. I just realized these are not crochet related, like approved stitch markers, because they don't have the clasp. So oops. But I knit, so it'll be fine. I'll use them for that. But I got some more Mickey Mouse ones, and I loved, oh, I'm covering up my little glitter one. I have some in other colors that do have the clasp, but I'm a Disney fan, and these are so cute. She has great colors, and I needed more. So I got these. Also, there was just this fantastic person. She'd been there before. I don't remember her, but we had a really great conversation, and we bonded. But something she has that I thought was so brilliant. If you're a knitter, you have probably seen, I don't think I have it in here. I don't. But you might have seen those little knit, I don't know how to describe them, but they go on, and then you can kind of pinch them and they'll slide down. And if you're working like a cowl, it'll push things over, and it's really handy. It's fantastic. However, I've noticed that like if you have thicker needles, sometimes it's hard to get over them, or it just doesn't work. She created these guys with a 3D printer. You pull one of them off, and they are like this, and they will just slip on there and move that way. You don't have to worry about, oh, sorry. Teddy is sitting underneath my desk, and my project bag just fell on him. Sorry, Teddy. But it does the same idea, but you don't have to push it along like over the, oh my gosh, you don't have to move it over the needle itself. So you just attach it here, and it's a good like stopper. If you need it to be a stopper, it sticks right there. Or if you want to like help push things down, it's also there. But I thought that was such a brilliant thing. She had a ton of great other options. She did no waste, like all of the, this is from a 3D printer, and all the material she, like that's kind of a waste, she would make into, she'd put them into molds and make them into necklaces. And she had some really cool things for spinning. This is at Designs by John, or just at Designs. She had, there was her and her husband, but I just thought these were so brilliant. And then because I purchased that, they gave me some free stitch markers, which were super cute. They said cat, but I swear those are like Mickey. Oh, there's like Mickey Mouse. There's totally Mickey Mouse in here. Let me actually open that. I got blue because I'm a blue girly. But all different sizes, also done on the 3D printer. There's some cat ones and these little mouse ones. So always love good stitch markers, and I thought that was so sweet that they just included that in the purchase. And like I said, I just had a lovely conversation with her, and I was there chatting for quite a while. Other than that, I got, let's see here, I got some stickers. So I had to get Witchfire fibers I had to represent. And then Yarnaceous fibers, I got Fueled by Dinosaurs and Yarn, which is fantastic. I got a sticker for the event itself. And then this is from a local yarn store that is, sounds awful to say, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere in the state. So it's a bit of a drive. It's like on your way to Moab, which I'm not on my way to Moab very often. But I really want to go visit because she was very pleasant, and like the stuff she brought up from her shop was super cute. But she had like lots of fun stickers, and I just thought this was a fantastic thing. It says, "Be stronger than your strongest excuse." So, you know, like, it's far, I'm late, I'm too old for that, it's hard, I'm tired, it's cold, I'm busy, I'm not strong. I just thought that was a very good reminder that many of us need. So I had to purchase that because I just thought that was fantastic. Is that it? Yeah. I was very impressed with my restraint this time around. And I mean, it helps that I am on a very strict budget thanks to a certain store closing and going a little crazy there. But I am so pleased with my purchases. I had so much fun. And this is just always on my calendar. Like every single year, as soon as I know the dates, I block it off. It's nice when you have a festival that's close to you, so you don't have to, you know, worry about travel and hotels and things like that. And it's so fun to see local people. Again, if you have a festival close to you, definitely go. If you are anywhere close to Utah, definitely make this a thing that you put on your calendar for next year. Also, I was chatting with someone, and there is an Idaho Fiber Festival in September of this year up in Boise. I heard about it last year. I didn't go, but I might need to put that on my calendar for this year. It's their third annual festival. There's definitely bigger events throughout the country, Block Festival, and then we have our big one, Sheep and Wool Festival in New York. And there's so many, just all the major cities, you will typically find a yarn festival, and they're just a blast. So thank you for coming along with me today, and I hope that you got some enjoyment out of it. Maybe saw someone new that you want to explore. I will put all the links in the description so that you can go and check them out yourself if you saw something that you just fell in love with. And yeah, support your local dyers, support the local businesses. I know I buy a lot from big box, but you do not get the same quality as you do from your local people. So have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.